Yes, so we are continuing with the quadratic equation, and we're doing second question for assignment 12, which is concerned about the graph. A graph is given, a quadratic graph, a parabolic curve, a U-shape, and questions are asked about it. The function is also given, and you have A, B, C, D, E, F questions from it, okay? So here we have an example similar to it. A graph is given, and you have questions from A to F. And if you notice, the line of symmetry was provided. Okay, as we know, it's like an axis that divides the parabola into two halves. And you have a point A, a point B, point C, and point D on the parabolic curve. Similarly, like in our example, well, yes, in our example, we have A, B, and C, the y-intercept, and D. So in our example, we're missing the y-intercept. Okay, so let's call the y-intercept, well, the y-intercept, the better letter for the y-intercept will be C. Okay, so let's call this y-intercept here C, and let's call this area up there D. So let's call it D. So let's make some changes just for it to look like the example. No line, but let's block the letter C. Let's call that D. And here now, we're going to call here C. Okay, so it will look like the example. Yes, so C, the y-intercept. So it will be similar to the example here. A, B, C, D, agreed. A, B, C, and D. And the function is given. In the assignment, the function is x squared plus 2x subtract 2. And in the example is x squared plus 2x subtract 3. So find the coordinates of points A and B. So to find the coordinates of point A and B, you must substitute the x coordinate into the function. So you're going to have two x coordinates. One is -4 and one is 2. And find out what f of x is, or find out what y is, because y is the same as f of x. Please bear that in mind. Okay, so for part A, agreed. For part A, we're going to find what is y. Y is the same as f of x. F of x is the same as y. And we want to find what is f of -4. So we can get the y value. Bear in mind, the y value is the vertical axis. There it is. That's the y values are on the vertical axis, and the x values are on the horizontal axis. So it's very important to label the axes. Agreed? Right. So we have -4 and 2 as our x coordinates. That's for point A and D. -4 and 2 are our x values. Okay, so that's the function we're going to use. So we're going to analyze for point A. For point A, we have to find what is f of -4. So I repeat, for point A, we have to find what is f of -4 for us to get the y value. And it looks like it's 5. Let's see if it's 5. F of -4. Always we see x, we substitute -4. Use brackets here because -4 is being squared. 2 times -4. All right, and then we substitute into our calculator. Or if you want, you can do it separately. -4 squared is 16. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Subtract 3. 16 subtract 8, subtract 3. That will give us 5. Okay, so f of negative 4 is 5, and you can prove it in your calculator by putting the whole expression in your calculator. But doing it piece by piece, negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. 2 times negative 4, that will give us negative 8. And you have a negative 3. 16 subtract 8 is 8, subtract 3 is 5. Okay, but you can prove it in your calculator. You can put everything in your calculator one time, and that should give you 5 as f of negative 4. Okay, f of negative 4 should give you 5 one time. Okay, f of negative 4 should give you 5. Here it is. Okay, so point A is actually negative 4, 5. Negative 4, 5, point A. So we're going to do point D now. We're going to do point D. So we have to use 2. Again, let's see if we get 5 according to the graph. What we're going to do now, we're going to substitute 2 for point D. Agreed. All where we see x, we put 2. All where we see x, we put 2. 2 2's, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, positive 4. All right, 2 times 2 is a positive 4. 2 times 2 is a positive 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, subtract 3 is 5. And you can prove it in your calculator. As we suspected, we're getting 5 again. When we substitute 2 into the function, when we substitute x equal to into the function, we get back 5 again. So the point D now is 2, 5. So that's what you do for part A in the assignment. Okay, substitute negative 4 and 2, but in this quadratic, and see what you get. Here we got 5 and 5. So most likely you're supposed to get the same y value, because as you can see, the heights for A is the same as the height for D, so you should get the same y value. Okay, many to 1. Negative 2 go to the same number, 2 go to the same number, many go into 1. Okay, that's basically what is going on there with this example on quadratics. You substitute negative 2, 4, and 2 into the function.